Hi, I'm Sabrina. Welcome to the Sovereign Divorce. Okay, you could be asking yourself, what does that mean? Sovereign. Well, I wanted to name this channel Sovereign Divorce because in my practice, I have seen so many people give away their power. And when you are sovereign, to have sovereignty over your own being, it means you are empowered, you are independent, you don't look outside of yourself for that validation. You know who you are without question. And to put sovereign and divorce together, I thought was very powerful because when you're divorcing, you are oftentimes going through some of the most tumultuous emotional times of your life. And when you are in such a high emotional state, typically people give away their power. They forget who they are. And many times it's weeks, if not months or years leading up to the divorce that people are so afraid or fearful or giving away their power to their spouse or to their co parent, to the person that they are in love with or were in love with. Oftentimes in relationships, we find when people get together with someone, they look to the other person to feed them, to nourish them, to nurture them, when really that should be the start of the relationship is that you nurture and you nourish yourself. You know, anytime you fall in love, people mistake that that's because of the other person. Well, if you didn't have that within you, if you didn't have the capacity to love within you, you would not be able to quote unquote fall in love in the first place. It's not the other person giving you those emotions. It is you giving that to yourself, but it's being reflected from the other person or by the other person. Everyone in our environment is just a reflection of who we are being. So let's start there. You want to know if you should divorce this person or if you should work it out? Well, you need to get clear on who you are. Who do you want to be? First, get clear on that. And then we can discuss whether you can work this marriage out, this relationship out, or whether you should move on and divorce that person. Only until you can get clear on who you are, who you want to be, and who you see yourself being can then we decide, okay, it's time for me to move on, or it's time for me to invest in this relationship. Because I'll tell you this, when people divorce and they're really not sure and they're giving all their power away to the other person, it's not going to be better after the divorce. I have clients who complain that they should have never gotten divorced because now they see their kids half the time and it's still a miserable existence. It's because they're not going within and looking at themselves and becoming self aware of what they're doing, who they're being. There's a lot of talk in the manifestation community about do this technique and get this, or just say this affirmation and everything will appear before me like magic. It's not that. Manifestation is just an idea. All it really is whatever you are conscious of being is what will be brought in your existence, what will be manifest in your existence. So it's your identity. Who do you identify with? If you identify with being this loving spouse, then that's what you will attract. If you want to stay married, then let's focus on marriage. Let's focus on you being the best version of yourself in this marriage. Let's not focus on the other person. Let's not complain what he or she is or isn't doing or what they're, up to, or even if there are extramarital affairs. There's no judgment here on this channel, okay? And I'm not saying you brought that on yourself. I'm not saying you deserved it. But there is a version of you inside of yourself that doesn't think you are worthy, and perhaps you projected that onto the other person, which caused the extramarital affair. Now, if that other person tends to be a narcissist or tends to have narcissistic tendencies, of course, we can assume that about them, but we can also assume that that person is equally an amazing caregiver, an amazing nurturer, is an amazing spouse. So, whatever we assume to be true about ourselves and whatever we assume to be true about the other person is really what will truly manifest. And again, that is your identity. That is who you are identifying with being. So when you get a hold of your desire, what you want for your life, what vision do you have for your life, then we can decide whether we want to stop the divorce process from proceeding or not initiate it in the first place or stay. And only then, when you become very clear on your desire, what you want, will we then be able to move from that point. So if it's divorce, is if that's truly what you desire, then I want to empower you to be the best version of yourself starting now. Before you hire that lawyer, before you meet with that attorney for that consultation. And remember, when you look for an attorney, you want to make sure that attorney is well versed in that area of law. If you have children, you want to make sure they're very good at custody and parenting time disputes. You want to make sure that they're good with assets. If you have a lot of assets, then you want to make sure the attorney you hire is versed in the high asset divorces. If there's a lot of conflict, if you foresee your spouse giving you a difficult time, no matter what you show your reality to be, no matter how good you are, no matter how empowered you are, and there's just not enough time to change all of this linear time, of course, because all we have is now. But if you believe there's not enough time, then there won't be. Okay. If you believe that you want a divorce now, if you feel like that's truly in your imminent future, then make sure you find a lawyer that is not only well equipped in that area of law, but that you resonate with, that you feel comfortable with, that will fight for you if you need it, that won't be highly adversarial because that'll just bring up more issues and legal fees that you might not want to spend, but one that will fight for you if you need it, one that will go to bat, one that you feel comfortable with. If you don't feel comfortable from the onset, then that's not a good relationship. You should meet with at least 2 or 3 attorneys to make sure it's a good fit for you. Make sure you bring all the documents you need, all of your statements, make sure you bring your financial information, your mortgage information, utilities, what it takes for you to live, your tax returns if you have them, at least 3 years. And arm yourself. Be your own sovereign self. Don't tell too many people. Don't tell your spouse this is what you're doing, unless, of course, you have that relationship and you feel safe enough in that relationship to express it to your spouse. If you don't feel comfortable yet expressing it, and most people don't, that's why they want a divorce in the first place, because communication has broken. It's been broken down for many years or months or weeks. If you've given it all you've got, if you've tried as much as you can, if you feel at this point it's just a stalemate and there's no point working on it because you're the only one working on it, then by all means, take that information, go get a consult. Once you have that consultation and you retain that lawyer, make sure you're doing all you can to preserve your own power, your energy, your existence. Do what you love to do. Don't be highly emotional. Try to get the work on yourself that you need, whether it's through a therapist, a counselor, or someone through your church or synagogue or temple, whatever it is that you derive that power from, that you need that assistance, then by all means do it. Some people like to work out more. Some people like to sign up for marathons or triathlons. Some people like to garden, go for walks in nature. Anything that will ground you to becoming more of who you want to be. When you identify with a persona or someone that you truly want to be, then be that now. And the more you are that now, the more you are that person who you truly desire, then that's what will be brought to you. That's the law of being. There is no other choice. So the more you do and act toward who you want to be, that's what will be brought to you. If you want to be the best mom ever, or the best father or dad ever. Be that now. Don't wait because time waits for nobody. Okay. All we have is now. And if there is dissension, if you feel afraid or you don't want to show up for your children's activities because of the divorce, go. Sometimes we have to push ourselves to do things that we know we should do. Who's that identity? Is the person, is the best mom someone who stays back and leans back? Absolutely not. You need to push forward and be the version of yourself now. If you want to stay married and you see yourself as a better spouse, then be it now. Don't wait for the other person to do something first. Don't be a tit for tat kind of person. Be the highest version of yourself now, and you will get the results in your reality sooner than later. It takes effort, it takes a mental discipline, but that is what sovereignty is all about. Being sovereign is being that empowered, dynamic, confident self. You can be that now. You don't have to wait any longer to be that. Don't wait until they're kind to you. Be that kindness. Don't wait until they show love to you. Be that love. Do whatever it is that makes you happy and joyful and at peace. Because at the end of the day, this is your reality. This is your life. This is your now moment. You'll never be able to get this now moment back. And if you keep bringing up all the past memories that you don't like or that you wish were different, then you're just going to create that more in the now moment. So you need to move forward from now. How do you envision your life? Focus on what you want in your life as if it's happening now. Focus on the relationship that you want, whether it's with your spouse or with someone new. Focus on how you want to be with your kids. Focus on the business that you want. Focus on the career, the money, the finances, the health, anything that you want in your life, any relationship that you want to improve. Focus on it being the best version of it now. And then watch how life unfolds for you. If we continue to focus on the negative, that's all we're going to get. If we focus on how hard things are, we're going to get more hard. If we focus on this awful spouse of ours, we're just going to get more of an awful spouse. In order to shift, in order to shift out of that identity, you have to be the best version of yourself that only sees things the way you desire now. So the more you can repeat to yourself what you desire, who you want to be, I am this way, I am that way, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am happy, I am in love, those things will start to unfold. And the more you practice that mental discipline, the more you will embody being that version of yourself. And whether it's going through this awful divorce or you can even qualify it as being a great divorce. It doesn't have to be awful. You can tell yourself, you know what? This is temporary. And while it might suck right now to be going through this awful time, it'll be okay. I'm okay because I have myself. Focus on positive things. Be grateful for your health. Be grateful for your family. Be grateful for your kids or your business or your wealth. Be grateful for your home. Find gratitude in the little things, and more of it will be brought onto you. That's the law of being. The more you are who you desire to be now, the more it has no choice to truly be. So, with that being said, everybody, I hope you've gotten something out of this message today. And I'm Sabrina, and I'm here for you. Give me a call or shoot me an email. And please remember, you are sovereign. You deserve the best. But until you believe or trust and know that you are sovereign and you deserve the best, then you'll just continue to get scraps or treated the way you think you deserve to be treated. Know that you deserve better. Know that you know that you know. Once you have that inner knowing, there's no stopping you. Have a great day, everybody. Bye for now.